Here's something that we often don't realize or remember in terms of overriding your instincts or polishing what is fake. So I believe that babies are born into this world with an innate knowing of what is right for them. Jean Liedloff talks about it in her book, The Continuum Concept, as being the continuum, which essentially is like something that is innate to us as human beings. It is our instinctual as well as supernatural self, that where we know what's right for us, we know what's wrong, we sense danger. And if you grew up in a domesticated environment that also had elements of danger that you had to pay into, or like energetically pay into, participate in order to survive. So you, from a young age, normalized overriding your own instincts. And this can be as subtle as attending school and continuously suppressing like when you need to eat or move your body or use the washroom because it's on a schedule. It can be a lot more complex than that, and usually is more complex than that in terms of the lens that our parents looked at the world through and how they, the template that they shared with us for love and existence within our homes. Because as we know, as children, we are dependent on our whoever's looking after us in order to survive. So we will mold ourselves and modulate. We will essentially accept things that are not part of our continuum. They're not innate. They're where humanity has gone off path and gone into distortion, and we'll accept those and normalize them, internalize them, and then they become part of our being. And then unless we address those things, we then pass them on to our children or our spouses, friends, family, people we do life with. And a lot of people on this journey of returning to instinct, coming home to that continuum and doing this work, are aware of that it's something that they want to do. But what I want to speak to today is the cost of not listening to that instinct, of essentially participating in something that you know is wrong, that you know is false, to keep the peace. And that, in the moment, it usually is the easier route to keep the peace, especially if you are somebody who avoids conflict or feels concerned about how other people are going to feel, how your actions, words are going to impact others. If you spend more time focusing on that than listening to the body, the instincts, you're likely very used to playing this way and navigating this way. And the cost of that is that we continue to polish something that is not real, or that is not true for us, that essentially is fake. So we are saying, even if you're not fully saying yes to something, but you're tolerating it, you are putting energy into it, attention into it. And like I said, often in the moment, it'll feel like the easy route. It'll feel like the peaceful path because it avoids conflict in the moment. But those small actions of being untrue to ourselves, not speaking our voice, not listening to our instincts, overriding, often the body will be screaming at us and but we learn to override it. And that, what will happen over years is that you'll build a fake relationship with a partner. You'll build a prison with yourself, within your own mind, within your own being. And you likely will go down paths that are totally not meant for you, where you'll build on things that are not true for you. You'll essentially create in that paradigm. It's a paradigm that's all around us, really, and takes quite a bit of effort to step away from. And it's also very it requires a willingness to listen to the instincts, which initially, if your programming as a young child involved overriding your instincts in order to be accepted by the tribe, when you start to listen to those instincts, there's a huge part of your being that's going to tell you you're in imminent danger and that it's not safe to do that. It's not safe to speak your truth or to say what you really think, feel, believe in that moment, because other people will reject you, abandon you, etc. And so it will feel intense for most people. It's like a very threatening or scary experience. But I think most of us have had experiences where we've seen the cost of years and years, or even not even years and years. Sometimes it's immediate, where you're like, oh, I didn't listen to my instincts, and now boom, this thing happened. And so there's in the sort of collective consciousness, there's a shadow expression of refining what is fake, like essentially of going along, keeping the peace, going along. And that can have a huge cost on how we evolve individually and together as humans. And so stepping into that requires being able to listen to the body, and being able to listen to the body requires cultivating a relationship with that, cultivating a relationship with the instincts that you have, and then honoring them, honoring that, like, if there's a no being said from your body, it's a no. You don't need, the mind will try to logic you into overriding it. And because we like it to be like organized, right? And certain, the mind really likes certainty and organization and like rules about how we do life and how we behave and how we play the game. But your innate instinct, your continuum, is far more playful, curious, explorative, adventurous, far less judgmental. That your continuum doesn't have a sense of shame or blame. Your continuum actually has full self-authority and authorship, and will take responsibility for what it is creating. And that's one of the main differences. It's like fully sovereign, whereas the other sort of collective consciousness code is like, if we all play by these rules, then we can all survive together. But it's a consciousness based on survival through a very intellectual side of ourselves, and not an instinct-based survival. Like, if you were to take society right now, groups of people, social groups, families, etc., and place them in a completely nature-based environment, like out in the wilderness together, the reorganization would happen quickly. Being able to trust your instincts would happen quickly, because it's your instincts that alarm you that, there's a snake there, or that there's actual danger and not fabricated danger. So I wanted to share that. Enjoy.